Arum went on yesterday with some comments against Sky Sports, really, and kind of their pay-per-view situation is, in his words, grace, etc. Saying that Usyk Chisora should not be on pay-per-view. I know you would have seen them comments, so...
I mean, look, Bob says whatever suits Bob at the time. Because he couldn't find a customer. That's basically what's happened. I mean, on one hand, Bob says that I do too many pay-per-views and blah, 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 and he pitched Guy, Frank did, Brooke, against Terence Crawford. Pay-per-view. On one hand, using these people doing too many pay-per-views. On the other hand, he's trying to sell them a pay-per-view. Do you understand how that makes sense?
Those are some of the words of Eddie Hearn as he explains why Bob Arum blasted the UK networks. Okay, I recently did a video yesterday about Bob Arum and about the non-exposure of particular fights, okay, such as Kell Brook and Terence Crawford. As Eddie Hearn was counterpunching back, as he responds and he says, well, how will you talk shit about us giving too many pay-per-view, or should I say us, well, UK giving too many pay-per-views, then you pitch us one, okay? That was his rebuttal. That was his counterpunch, Eddie Hearn. And the question is, when did he say that? Oh, when did he say that? Before or after they said they didn't have any money for him? So I can understand if Bob would have said, you know, you guys are doing too many pay-per-views since you don't have money, more money in the budget for something I'm trying to pitch you, versus I trying to pitch you something knowing that you're doing a lot of pay-per-views. So what Eddie Hearn is saying is like, hey, okay, well, you can't, why would you try to pitch us more pay-per-views? And because you already feel we're doing too many. But we're telling you we don't have the money to do more. Now, if I'm Bob, I'm like, well, hell, maybe you should snatch some of those off because some of those can't sell or people wouldn't want to watch them like the one I'm pitching you. You see what I'm saying? So I see both sides of that situation. So let's go move on.
Rejected that fight. Pissed off. Right? Then he came back and said, his people, we want this much money for this fight, and the answer was no. So he was pissed off again. People got in touch with Sky and said, do you want to buy Lomachenko against Lopez? They said, look, it's budget, we're not looking to spend any money out on more money outside of our commitments on boxing. So they got in touch with me. Eventually I made Bob offer for Lomachenko against Lopez to go on Sky. He didn't think it was a very good offer. Told me I'll pass, but thank you. Sulking, because, you know, you talk about Sky, do know that punting these fights out to everybody. So he punted out Crawford to... No. He punted out Brooke Crawford to BT. No. He punted out Lomachenko Lopez to Sky. No. He punted it out to BT. He punted it out to ITV. One wanted to take it. You can't just start throwing your toys out the pram because no one wanted to buy it and start telling everyone the world's a disgrace. The reality is, that is a wonderful fight. Wonderful fight. So the reality is, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I was watching it.
So he explains the pitch, basically, in a nutshell, is telling Bob Arum to be a better salesman. You know, come down the prices a bit more, you know, and what makes me think of now, what Bob wanted, okay? And I always wonder about this with any kind of negotiations or an offer to someone. When he says, well, Sky said no, or then I denied it, or whatever. And then he was like, okay, I'll pass. And he did rebuttal, like, okay, well, how about this offer? And he says no. Well, I think at this point, Bob is trying to play hardball in the situation. Once again, he has no idea where he's at. He still doesn't understand. Look, the money's not there. You're trying to pitch a fight in the UK that's gonna be on 4 in the morning. It will be on 4 in the morning. You guys in the UK are so farther ahead of us right now. What time is it? It's 10. It's 5 in the morning right now. It's just 10 o'clock at night right now. It's another day for you guys. Right? So you're looking at all this, and Bob needs to understand the time difference. So he needs to understand that only so many people are going to be up for a particular fight that's not even in the States. Okay? Well, let's put it this way. The fight's going to be in the States, but it's not in the UK. So if the fight's not in the UK, you know, Kell Brooks, he's a good fighter, but he's no Anthony Joshua. He isn't. However, I do want to see it. Someone should pick it up for the ones. But in that case, I think Bob should be more understanding and more compromising. Okay, because that is a big factor that the UK people will stay up that late. Most events Saturday that happens in the UK, for us, fortunately, for the ones that are off, that don't work weekends, cool. It's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Okay, it's already coming on. So by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, here, it's over. You know, we can enjoy the rest of the day. We can watch some UFC. That's how it is over here in the States. But over there in the UK, it's a totally different situation. Okay? You know, so it's only so many people that will buy it because it is the time slot. I do understand that. You know, but let's go move on. Let me see what he says.
The numbers, you know, like Sky, BT, they know would deliver. Whilst it's a great fight, only a certain amount of value that fight has on that time zone. So,
well, are you talking about in general or as a pay-per-view?
Not a pay-per-view. No, just to go on.
Just to have it, yeah.
Yeah. So I made them an offer based on the value of that kind of viewership, kind of time in the morning. I made him that offer from my budget. I really need right now, to be honest with you, try and make sure we can get our fighters out as much as possible, or at all. Yeah.
So, I understand what Eddie's saying. He made him an offer. It might not seem like a great offer, and it probably wasn't. But you have to understand something about compromising. And I always feel that I think Bob, again, he went on a rant, and I'm for any fight or any fights that are held anywhere in the world. You know, that's why I think it should be on free television, or it shouldn't be on pay-per-view at all. You know, because you're looking at Kell Brook, he's not a star. He's not that person, but at the end of the day, he's still from the UK. So I think it should be an option. And I think if Bob Arum really cared about, because the only reason Bob Arum is pitching to BT or to Sky Sports and all these other places is because Kell Brook's from the UK, and he's trying to exploit the reason behind him being from the UK, okay, is to sell to the UK fans, and he knows that's a massive market. But understand, you have to understand, just because it's a massive market don't mean that particular fight is going to sell. You know, so Bob needs to realize and calm down. Like, look, everything's messed up right now. You know, the UK itself is known for their live gates. So come on, Wembley. Think about it. Anthony Joshua, Vladimir Klitschko, Carl Froch. Okay, those guys sold out the Wembley. That's 80, 90,000 people. You cannot do that now. You understand? That money, that revenue is not existent. Eddie Hearn knows that. He understands that. The money ain't there. Bob needs to understand the money is not there right now. And he's the biggest one to start talking about budget. And this is before the corona. Well, who's got to pay him? Right? But now we're in a pandemic still to this day. And he's still wondering, oh, well, I don't want to take this. No, that offer's garbage. That's bullshit. I'm not going to accept it. But then, therefore, I'm going to start blasting you. That's exactly what happened. Now we have both sides of the story and how they balance out. Eddie versus Bob Arum. You guys tell me what you think. Who's right or wrong? Bob Arum or Eddie Hearn? Leave your comments below. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.